Okay.
So, Clocking the Gallop are tuned in to Gavin Lerena now. We've decided that it was about time that we settled in and chatted man to Gavin Lerena. We know Gavin quite a bit through our Clocking the Gallop travels. We've had good fun with him all over the country. And he joins us now live from his home in Johannesburg. Gavin, great to have you on the show again. Thanks for joining us just a few days before the Summer Cup on Saturday.
Thank you very much, Nico. Great to be on the show. And let's hopefully we can guide the punters in the right direction.
I want to talk quickly about soccer first, because we were just talking about it before we came on. You have Argentinian heritage. You know, your forefathers came out from Argentina to South Africa. A strong breed of Argentinian family are the Lerenas. I'm supporting Argentina. They had a bit of a hiccup in their first game, but I said to everyone, it's good news because we get a better price for the to lift the cup, you know.
Yeah, look, it was quite depressing to see them get beaten. I think they hadn't been beaten in their last 36 games or something stupid like that.
Amazing.
But that's why there's no such thing as a good thing. But I did draw Saudi Arabia with a couple of my mates who drew teams, and they were one of my teams, so it was a bittersweet victory.
Yeah, so you want them to win, but you don't want them to win at the same time. So we'll hope for the best for Argentina. Now, Gav, I noticed only 5 rides on the day. I want to leave the Summer Cup to last because that's the biggest of all, and we'll get into a meatier discussion on those. But you have 4 other mounts on the day. So if we can just quickly run through them. In race 5, you've got Full Velocity running for Sean Terry. And she's as consistent as ever, isn't she? You've ridden her last time out. And I mean, it was short heads. We liked Full Velocity. We thought she'd go really close. And she gave the other filly 7.5 kilos.
Yeah, it was a huge run last time. I must say, at the start, I think 3/4 of the field of jocks thought it was a false start because that little filly, Lucy in the Sky, broke the gate.
Yeah.
So we came out, took hold, and look, I probably would have ended up in the same place, but it does cost you a bit. And, you know, to run with that weight last time, she was gallant. She ran a fantastic race.
So she's going back up the straight, and she's done extremely well up the straight. Nothing to suggest that she can't be out the first few at least.
Yeah, I mean, you know, course and distance statistics are really good, and I think she enjoys the Turffontein straight. You know, she's got a nice draw. I'm not right on the fence, so I'll be able to get out at the right time, and I think she's going to run on strongly.
Yeah, I think she's a big runner there to open up your day. Then we go to the Dingons, where you've got the ride on Meridius. Again, another one that we rode last time out. What sort of feel did he give you last time over the 1800?
You know, he gave me a very nice feel. He's a horse that moves really well. He does feel to me that he's going to be better in a couple of months' time. You know, mentally, the penny really hasn't dropped with him, but we've got the blinkers on him now, and hopefully that will just help him concentrate that little bit better. You know, when asking
did you suggest those, or did Andrew and Ashley say, you know, do you mind us putting them on or trying them, or did you suggest putting them on?
Yeah, look, we chatted about it, and you know, I suggested maybe a sheepskin noseband or the blinkers, and you know, they're pretty happy to go with the blinkers. So you know, let's just hope it helps him concentrate a little bit better, because he does have the ability.
Who's your gut feel for in that race? Would it be Shoemaker because of his traffic issues last time out, that he mightn't have won last time if he didn't get a few traffic issues? Would that be your idea of the Dingons winner?
You know what? Yes, he was unlucky last time. Wherever Richard went, he got squeezed. But I think that horse Union Square, from the one draw, he also ran a fantastic race, and I think he's also going to keep getting better.
Yes.
But I think it is quite an open race. You know, he got real victory. He ran a fantastic race last time.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good race. And then you've got a couple of horses that fluff their lines, like Profit and that.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're hoping to come back to good form.
Okay, so no clear-cut choice there for Gavin, but he's got a ticket there with Meridius. Then in the 8th race, Perfect Witness. Well, at the weights last time out, she looked to have an absolutely huge chance. And that was in the Victory Moon, but she didn't run any kind of race. They said they examined and nothing else was found out. Now, what have you found out about her that you can say might have accounted for that bad run last time? Is there anything in your mind, speaking to Candice, that you've come up with that might have led to that poor run?
Yeah, look, it was a very poor run. But speaking to Candice, she thought maybe with all the rain in that she had a bit more pudding than she wanted on the filly. I did some nice work with her last season, and the more work we gave her, the better she was. The more work we threw at her, she thrived off it. So, Candice has put another 2 grass gallops into her now, and she's stripping a fitter horse. I still can't say she's 100%, but she's definitely stripped a fitter horse. She's a very nice filly. She's honest.
Very nice. I mean, we tipped her strongly on this channel last time out, so we were dumbfounded. But like you say, it didn't work out for her. So it's like we weren't even close to winning. The point is that she needs to get her head in front, because she's the type of horse that if she doesn't win soon, she'll continue running seconds and thirds. But if you look at that run to Puerto Manzano, I mean, that was a tremendous effort in the Jubilee. If you go to that run, she's got to have a big chance here. But as you say, she needs to regain that form.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I think her best distance is probably 10 furlongs.
Yeah.
But I mean, last year I rode her in the Phillies Classic, and she ran a great third to Rain in Holland.
Yeah.
And she followed up and ran a great second. So, I think she's a very honest filly, and the harder you on her, the harder she tries. So,
okay,
I think she'll be in with a small chance.
That's Perfect Witness in the 8th race, which is the Epitome Challenge. And then the last of the day, you've got Dawn of a New Era. You and Erica go back a long way, and you've had a lot of success with each other. You get back aboard this horse, and you've ridden it a few times. You never won on him, but you've run him into the placings. If people are doing their Tom in the last, can Gavin pop up in the last?
It's funny enough you say that. Often on the big days, I end up riding a horse for Erica in the last race, and for some reason they come home. From the Nordic Rebels to Barnet Tasner those days. We've had some good success in the last race, and look, let's just hope it all comes together. It's a small field, but there's some competitive runners here. But one thing I do know, he'll be running on strongly.
Well, I remarked on this channel a few weeks back just how well Erico's done. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of horses, and when you looked at his stats, I mean, I then turned around and said, I mean, I labeled a horse actually, and it was a great price. It was one of Suzette Fillion's horses, and well, I can use the terminology because we're under 18 channel. It's Chatted. Which was great news for us, because it was a great price. So he's done extremely. He's a real horseman, isn't he, Erica?
He's a fantastic horseman. He's a great trainer, a good horseman. I think he's got 18 horses or so, 14 to 18 horses. But he's just a really good trainer, and he gives his horses the time to mature. And you look at a horse like Nordic Rebel, Caribbean Coast. They race until they're 7, 8, 9 years old, and they race competitively.
Yeah.
I wish he would get more support, because he deserves it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you wholeheartedly that he's been a long time in the game. I remember him years ago training that horse Fallon. I think he ended up with Joey Soma, but I think he had it initially.
Yeah, I think he won the big ones with it, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was. Okay, so let's go back a bit to the big race, the Betway Summer Cup. And I was doing my homework. Okay, so we've got 19 runners, and I wanted to hear it from Gavin. So because now you've ridden at some stage or other in their career half the field. You haven't ridden half the field ever before. You might have ridden them at work, but in a race you haven't ridden half the field, but you have ridden half of them. Now let's start off with second base, because we've had a quick chat a couple of weeks ago about what you were likely going to ride. Johan, in his interview, said, look, it's drawn 18, but I'm quite happy in a way that he's drawn 18 because it'll suit us better with this horse. Are you in that same are you of that same opinion that it's better to be drawn there?
I am, because he's a horse that doesn't break very well, and he often can't muster the early speed. So if he gets a good draw, he gets bumped around and he ends up too far back. But from the draw 18, if he doesn't come out quick, I'll be able to let him use his action for a bit and then find myself where he's happy. So I'm not very disappointed in the draw. I have won from that draw before.
Yes, you have. I'm saying that you can win from those draws at that Turffontein 2000. It's not a negative. People think, sorry, these birds are going to create a bit of problem for us in the background. But I'm saying people moan about the draws, but at the end of the day, it's not a bad thing.
I think, yes, in a mediocre race, the draw can get you. But when you go to Group 1 level and hopefully there's a strong pace, the draw doesn't, come into factor when there's 18 decent horses running and there's a strong pace. You'll find your way, and the good horses can get on.
It's a race that not much pressure is on you. He's 50 to 1, he's 66 to 1 second base. Last year, when Neil and I did the form, we ended up backing two horses. We ended up backing him, and we ended up backing the winner, Flying Carpet, because we were looking for something in that profile of horse to just fit the bill. I think Raymond Danielson rode him in last year's race. My point is that without a lot of pressure on you, the Gavin Lerena I know, regardless of what you're riding, wants to give it your best shot. It doesn't matter the price of the horse. You want to win the Summer Cup.
100%. Like you said, there's no pressure on me. I think he's going to enjoy a no pressure ride, this horse.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give him a no pressure ride. And it's all up to him at the end of the day. But if he puts his best foot forward with the weight that he's carrying, he's got to be competitive.
Let's talk about the Johan Janssen van Vuren stable, because very recently, I'd say by recent, I mean in the last 6 to 9 months, you got back in the yard. If we think back this time last year, things might have been not as rosy. My point being is that you're there, you're in the mix, you're enjoying your time there. You had a cracking win yesterday in that first race with a stable companion. It was really a top-class ride by you. So you're in the system there, and you're obviously accustomed to riding all these horses at work. I mean, they're all decent. I mean, you'd have to say of the stable, though, that Keegan's ride, Furtam and Zano, is the key. The question mark that everyone's throwing back at me is that he's not going to get the trip. That 2,000 meters is just a little bit further than he'd like. But I don't share that same sentiment. I saw him running on to Bingwa in the charity mile, and he was pulling away from the third horse and the fourth horse in that last 200. I'm thinking that it's not such a negative as people are making out to be. Would you agree with that?
You know what? At work, he's doing unbelievably well, Petra. Johan can't have him in a better space. He's moving really well. And on his work, I can say whatever beats him, he's going to win. Distance-wise, I would say it's his top end. But at level weights, he ran a great third in the 2000 last season. Is it the President's?
Yes, the President's Challenge, yeah.
Turffontein at level weights. He ran a fantastic race over the 2000. And then in the Summer Cup last year, he was drawn wide. He went forward in the race, used up quite a bit of energy, and still ran a great race. I think he only got beaten 2 or 2.5 lengths. So I think if Keegan gives him a conservative ride, this also he'll finish strongly.
Yeah. He's got Asterix as well in the race, who's now recently changed stables. That's also with Johan. You've ridden that horse before, so you know what he feels like also. And then you've got Divine Odyssey, the horse that went down to the Eastern Cape and is back in Joburg now. How are they doing? Have you ridden them at work?
Yeah, I haven't sat on Divine Odyssey. Obviously, he's back from PE, but it's his third run back on the half veld, and it wasn't such a bad run last time. He stayed on, and obviously, Jan's got some more work into him, so he could be a dark horse. But Asterix, I have done a bit of work on him. Obviously, it's his third run for Jan. He's run over the 2 miles, and he's probably better over the 10 furlongs. He's got him moving well at home, but it's hard with 60 kilos in these races, giving weight away.
Let's talk about the top 2 in the market. Mike de Kock, looking for his 10th win in the big race, has got the 2 favourites, Sparkling Water, Safe Passage. Lots of form to go on. Of the 2, my personal preference of the 2 is Sparkling Water, as it was in the July. I just feel that even though she's giving half a kilo to Safe Passage, that for me, she'll beat Safe Passage. But what's your feeling?
I just, you see horses run, and you see, they both came from a rest last time. Safe Passage made up good ground, and he obviously just needed it that last 100 or so. And then you get Sparkling Water, who jumped from a wide draw. She was on the pace. It was a very hard run for her down the straight. You've got to take those things into account. I prefer Safe Passage's prep. The mile and then going the 10 furlongs. I think he's the right horse. For me, Safe Passage is the right horse. Sparkling Water, she ran a great race last time. Obviously, she was brilliant in the July, but it was a hard first run back. And with the mare, it's not easy.
De Kock's also got Aragosta in the race. Now, I'm going back to the July. In the July, I liked both Aragosta and Sparkling Water. We know that Warren Kennedy, I think, rode Aragosta, and things didn't work out. He only finished 6 lengths back. That said, here's a horse that will love being back at Turffontein over this type of ground. He's got Richard Fourie in the saddle, bang in form. Blinkers last time out, no blinkers on this time round. So if we ignore that run, if you go back to that run in the Dingons last year, I know it's over a mile, and I know it's when they were 3-year-olds, but there wasn't much between the Safe Passage and the Aragosta on their run, and the one has to give the other 3 kilos as 4-year-olds.
Yeah, look, I think Aragosta is well weighted. Obviously, I rode him twice early in his career. He won a good race, and he ran a good third. I think it was the Dingons.
That was the Dingons, yeah.
Yeah, I feel he's probably 10 furlongs at Turffontein is probably his best course in distance. I'm not sure about the blinkers on, blinkers off, but he is definitely a dark horse. His form suggests this. Even his run in the Daily News was a great run off a rest. So, if things go well for him in the race, he could also be running on nicely.
Yeah, strangely enough, of the de Kock runners, he's actually the top of my pile in the de Kock camp. Again, I'm not looking specifically to go for value, but I tipped Aragosta ahead of Sparkling Water in the July. Why would I be different just a few months later? I then want to touch on a couple of your fellow riders. Firstly, let's talk about Julius Mariba and how well he's ridden Red Saxon, and the fact that Joey has gravitated back to Julius to give him a ride in this big race. Because, when you look back at the form, his best rider has been Mariba.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think he was a horse that used to pull quite hard when he was younger. And Julius actually taught him to settle very nicely and to run at them. So I think it's a smart move by Mr. Soma to have his little son back, Julius.
Yes.
And there was a great run from him last time as well.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's got to be in with a chance.
Yeah. And the problem is, if Julius wins the Summer Cup, I don't know whether we'll get out of there much before Monday. But that's something that I'll take up with Julius at some stage. Let's talk about Strader. Okay. Now, there is racing tomorrow at the Val, and Pierre's just one away from that 5,500. I know Pierre probably a bit less than known that you know him. He would relish the fact of winning this race to put the trophy in the cabinet and say that was his 5,500th winner. He'd want to win on Nebros. And again, he has a profile of a horse, comes in. I think the weight's a little bit on the heavy side, but 57's a nice galloping weight. That can win it.
Without a doubt, he was running on very well late in the victory in this horse. Actually caught my eye. And if I wasn't going to ride second base, I probably would have tried to push from the brass. I think he's got a big chance, this horse. You know, if the pace is strong, if it's a hard run 2,000, you know, this horse has got the stamina. And he's got a good turn of foot as well, obviously over a longer trip. But
yes,
if it's a hard run 2,000, tough one, this horse has got the stamina to get to the line.
He can outrun them. Those like Puerto Manzano that are on the top end of the trip, you know, they'll be stopping where he's flying and still wants an extra 200-300. You know, but let's stay with Sean Terry and the Sean Terry theme. He's won this race lots of times before too. He won last year's race. He's also got a previous winner race, Zilzal. He's got Shango, who you've ridden a few times. You know him, but he's got Litigation. He's got Pyromaniac. What about Terry's form going into the race and his chances in the race?
You know, if I go back on the years, I don't know why, but November Day always catches Mr. Terry out. But he comes back on a Summer Cup day and he reminds us who he is. So, yeah, I wouldn't write any of his horses off. I've won on Zilzal before. He's got a big, beautiful action, this horse, and he carries himself very well. He's got the draw. I hope he goes forward because he likes to gallop this horse. He likes to use his action. So, yeah, you leave Sean Terry out at your own peril. Litigation, obviously, also one on him. He's a horse that's improving. Well done to the kid last time for riding him. He rode a great race, a positive race on him. And I think that horse also likes that type of ride. He just wants to keep on winding. And yeah, look, it was he was at long odds last time, but it was a good win. It was a good win from him. And then who's the other one again?
The other one was Pyromaniac.
Pyromaniac. Yeah, Pyromaniac. I think 2000 is too far for him. I think he's a decent mile on his day if things go his way, but I personally think 2,000 meters is too far for him. And then Shango. Sure, Shango, I rode him last time for Mr. Terry, and I actually said to him, I think, yes, at Gravel, the long distances suits him, but I think at Turffontein and with the incline and that, I think 2,000 is probably his top end.
Yeah.
He's also he's got stamina on his. Oh, sorry. Are we back?
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously he's running the Gold Cups and his long distance races in Durban, but I think the 2,000 will probably be his best trip at Turffontein. He needed his last start, and yeah, it's also another dark horse. Great for Rachel to get a ride in the race.
Absolutely. One last question on the runners before I tie you down to something. William Robertson. Now, you know, it was well documented the day of that top bet race, the spring challenge, when Kamalo got off him at the start, said he didn't feel that he was right on the day. Yenny rode him. Yenny said to me after the race had run that although he won on him, he wasn't comfortable on him. what's the story with his new rider now, Marco van Rensburg? Because he's got it all to do here, but people have left him out and he's popped up. He's got to be a damn good horse if he's running so close up and people are wary of his action.
Yeah, he's if you look at him in the ring, he's a big, beautiful, strong horse. I just don't know if 10 furlongs is the right trip for him. I thought myself personally, I thought he's probably the best sprinter in the country.
Yeah. So 2,000. Yeah, so 2,000 meters just may catch him out here.
I think so. I think if they stuck to the sprinting distances, I think this horse could. The sky could be the limit.
Now, final question. Riding second base from an 18 draw, how often do you go through the plan of action in the race in your head, looking at where the rest are drawn and who you're going to follow? I know that's what jockeys do. They choose a horse to follow, fancied horse that they think has got a chance after doing their studying of form, and you're well equipped to doing that. So in your mind, you know how you're going to ride your race. Is it going to work out for you? Are you comfortable that you've got your own correct strategy to ride second base to its best finish possible?
I do. Obviously, I've got the horses in mind that I want to follow. If I could be just behind midfield, would be great. But I may have to be further back. But if I can get the two horses that I want to follow in the straight, get them to pull me through. Let's hope he can surprise us.
Well, we would look absolutely brilliant 4 days before tipping a 55 or 66 to 1 horse to run up there in the Summer Cup. So let's hope it comes to pass. We've had good form together previously. I'm not saying it's our outright first selection, but it's definitely on the short list of horses we've got for it, and hence the reason why we've got you on. One final thing, and you must be so proud of your lovely wife, because she's back in the saddle tomorrow. And I'm putting this out tonight because when I was looking at tomorrow's card, I just see an asterisk Vicky Lerena in a work riders race, obviously prepping herself for the big ladies race coming up on King's Plate Day. But it's magnificent for her to get back in the saddle. How's she feeling?
Yeah, she's obviously a little bit nervous, but she's a great rider. She's a great horsewoman, and she's got wonderful hands on the horse. Obviously, this is a prep race for like you said, for that race on King's Plate Day. But she's been putting in the yards. She's been doing a lot of running, riding as many horses as she can in the mornings. So I think it's going to be good. I was actually on the scratchings last week, and I saw Joe, because obviously I ran second a couple of runs back on this Princess, this horse that she's riding. And I saw Joe double engaged, and he obviously has to ride for Sean Talley. So I told her, get on the phone. This is a nice comeback ride.
So you're giving a bit back that she does for you. I mean, doesn't she normally do that for you?
Yeah, she helps me out big time with my rides. Gets hold of the trainers, but yeah, let's hope she'll pay me some agent fees.
Yeah, well, let's hope that she gets into that winner's enclosure and plays the factory. But well done to her, and well done for her to come back. Gavin, always a pleasure having you on our show. We speak quite a bit when we're on planes and at airports and so forth, but always a pleasure having you in a formal conversation here talking racing. I just hope it goes fine for you. You know, you said to me a couple of weeks back, Nico, he's the type of horse, second base, that if he could put in his best form, not that he does now that he's getting older, he doesn't run 2 races alike, but he could flash up on the day. And I'm hoping for you and for us here on Clock in the Gallop that he just runs his best race.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's all up to him at the end of the day, and he's certainly got the ability. He's certainly putting in great work at home. He's moving well. So let's hope the base can come into a home run.
See what happens. All the best to you, Gav. We'll catch you on Saturday at Summer Cup Day. But thanks very much for chatting to us.
Thank you very much. Great to be on the show.
Thanks very much. Cheers.